This is the Toxic Reign scandal. Give you an RKO like Randall. Today we're going to talk about Chyna uncovers shocking secret. Now, this is about her relationship with Triple H. They first started out in DX together. Chyna was the bodyguard for DX, which started of Triple H and Shawn Michaels in the mid-late 90s. Later on, as she was a bodyguard, she became a single star when Triple H broke out as a single star when he went heel later on in 1998 and 1999. So when that happened, Triple H started to rise to prominence. Chyna also rose. But later on, late 1999, Triple H became in the main event main contender for the WWE Championship. Now, while he was becoming champion, he also had a feud with Vince McMahon. Also, to the storyline, he started a storyline with Stephanie McMahon. And he did whatever he could. He did get to Vince McMahon. So he did a marriage to Stephanie in Vegas, which was during her wedding to Test. He interrupted the ceremony of her and Test, even though all wrestlers banned, only family members only. He was saying he was a family member because he married Stephanie at a chapel in Vegas. So with that being said, she was married to Triple H and she couldn't marry Test. Now there was a storyline where he would get the marriage annulled if he faced Vince McMahon at Armageddon in 1999. If he wins, he gets another shot at the WWE Championship. If he lost, the marriage would be annulled. It turns out that he ended up winning the match. He ended up getting another shot at the WWE Championship, which he did win again. And he also got Stephanie McMahon. Turns out it was a whole ploy. Stephanie McMahon was in on the whole time to get back at Vince McMahon of how he treated her in the past. With this storyline, it became a real thing. Stephanie and Triple H became married later on in 2003, which they still married are today. And that ended his relationship with Chyna. He was with her for 4 years, from 1996 to 2000. Now, after their relationship ended, Chyna's contract was up, and she wanted $1 million salary, as she felt she was deserved of it, of the main guys like Triple H, The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. But she was only offered $400,000, which today is equivalent to $676,000. So still a lot of money, especially for a female wrestler back then. And she turned it down. Now, she did an interview years later that they sent her a fax and said her service no longer needed. But it was poorly alleged because she turned that contract down. But what she also mentioned was, while her and Triple H still in a relationship, while he was in a storyline with Stephanie McMahon, she discovered a love letter from Stephanie McMahon to Triple H, and it was dated back a year prior. She told that Stephanie wrote a letter how she felt about Triple H, she was in love with him, and she found it in his suitcase. So, and Triple H, he denied it, and she also mentioned that Triple H was somewhat abusive towards her as they were living together at the time during their relationship. So this really pretty much broke her. She was never the same, in my opinion. She never came back to WWE. She did, however, in 2002 go to the New Japan Pro Wrestling. She had a short stint there. She wasn't there for long. She did a few matches, I believe. and she never went back to Japan. She also was in the adult industry, which really ruined her reputation in the industry of wrestling, and nobody wanted to take her on. So after Japan, she didn't wrestle again until 2011 in TNA, where she was announced as Kurt Angle's special mystery partner, which they said was a business associate. They had a mixed tag team match at the pay-per-view Sacrifice against Jeff Jarrett and his wife Karen Jarrett, which she did win for her team by tapping out Karen Jarrett. And then 5 years later, she passed away due to an overdose of drugs. So she was only, I believe, 45, 46. And later on, she was inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame as a member of DX in 2019. But after her relationship with Triple H ended, pretty much her career, everything else went downhill. She never bounced back. She never really wrestled that much. She only did 2 short stints in 2 different companies, and getting involved in the adult industry pretty much ruined her. And then her involvement with drugs and alcohol as well. But once she ended the Triple H relationship and uncovered the secret, that was it. And that's all I have for Chyna uncovering the shocking secret. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Until then, O-U-T.